Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and I have a bunch of Blu-ray reviews for everybody out there. And the first one I'm going to take a look at is from Arrow Video USA, and that is The Chill Factor, or Demon Possessed, and this came out in 1989, and it's released now, obviously 2019. And essentially what this is about these young couples that go snowmobiling for the weekend, and they come across this like cabin and everything, and it used to be like this old camp, like a kind of like a religious kind of camp for kids, and then they find out that it has like kind of like this more of a demonic kind of thing to it. You know, it's like an evil kind of place, and you know, stuff happens. There was a wreck before they got there, and their friend's hurt, so they have them in there, and things start to happen to them one by one. So you know, they're just trying to, like, you know, survive while they're there. It's the first time I ever saw this. I never heard of it before. It says here it was barely released outside of its original VHS outing, and it was, like I said, originally titled Demon Possessed, and it's directed by Christopher Webster, and he produced Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2, which are both, you know, good movies, and you know, I like them anyway. But like The Chill Factor was very, very cheesy, very, very low budget, and if you know like labels and stuff with VHS, this is, at least to my knowledge, the first time I've ever seen Arrow release an AIP. You know, something from AIP from back in the day, and AIP wasn't like you know, Sony, or even sometimes Sony like put out stuff, but it was like a very cheesy, low budget and everything. And this was on AIP. I think it was Productions back in the day, or Films, you know, one of those type of thing. AIP Films, we'll say, and it was put out by Arrow, which I thought was kind of cool. The movie, like I said, is very cheesy, low budget. There's gore, some gore, but like it gets taken away a lot. Like there's like a part in like a freezer, and this thing is like the blades start to spin, and all you see is this stuff go on the wall. You never even see, you know, anything else. It's kind of like depressing with that. The one cool thing is like this here on the cover with the icicle. It doesn't exactly happen like this kill, but that was like the one kill that made you go, ooh, you know, like that. So that was kind of cool. I mean, the picture looked good, the sound was good and everything. The story was okay, you know. It's because like they're out like 30 miles from in town with snowmobiles, and you know, it's kind of, like I say, it is low budget, and it is cheesy. But like, especially at the beginning, it's for the times. Like nowadays, everything is so PC nowadays. It definitely wouldn't, you know, make it nowadays. You know, people would definitely have a big problem with it. Some of the things they said, but you know, I thought it was okay. I liked it. It wasn't great, but you know, I would probably watch this again sometime in the future. But yeah, I just thought that was cool that Arrow Video put out something from AIP. One thing I can say, if you haven't seen this before and you're going to watch the trailer for it, definitely don't do that. Because, especially if you watch the original trailer, which is on here, like, I don't know, so maybe you want to watch the trailer before you watch this movie, which I think is kind of stupid to do, because then scenes stick in your head and you're kind of waiting for it, and it's like maybe you'll see a scene from the ending. Like, at least that's for me, that's happened. So I don't like to see a trailer. I don't like to see a trailer most of the time, even with new movies nowadays. But the trailer is basically, it's just like a start to end, like, of the movie. It shows pretty much every kill, what happens. It shows like the ending and everything. It, like, there's no reason to even watch the movie. It was kind of like in a minute long, or however long that it is. It's like basically like the movie cut in pieces, and it's like a total waste. I don't know why they would put a trailer out like that. I mean, I don't know. So just warning, don't watch the trailer before you watch this movie, because you're just gonna see basically the whole movie. But anyway, let me show you what's inside here. And here you have some newly commissioned artwork by Mark Schoback of Sadist Art Designs. That's a really, really cool cover. I really like that. Never even heard of this movie before. Never seen it or anything, and just that cover, I was like, oh, I can't wait for that to come out. That looks really cool. I have no idea what that is, but that looks cool. And then you got, you know, the font there on the side. And then the reversed cover, you got this, which isn't bad. You know, it's kind of neat. I'm not really fond of that font, to be honest. And then you have the same font there on the spine. And there you have the special edition contents. If you want to check them out now, you can. And here you have the Blu-ray, and it is region A, B, and C, and you have a booklet. And here, like I said, is the booklet, and I'm not going to skim through it because just showing the picture on the back is like a part of the ending, so I'm not even going to do that. But it does have the usual stuff in there, cast and crew, about the restoration and everything, but I'm not showing you the back. So yeah, the movie started off kind of like, you know, on a positive note, and then it kind of like ended up kind of spiraling down, and you know, I didn't think it was great. I didn't hate it. I would rewatch it, but I'm not sure how often I would want to watch it again. But, you know, for a cheesy kind of, you know, demonic kind of Satan kind of weird movie, you know, it's not bad. You know, but I guess, you know, just check out the trailer after the movie, like I said. So that's the chill factor. Next up, I have here another one from Arrow Video USA, and that is Double Face, and this one has Klaus Kinski in it. Great name, very scary looking dude. But yeah, this one is from 1969, and it's directed by Riccardo Freda. And what this is about, it's about this guy who, you know, he is kind of like in this family business. Well, he's married into it, I should say, and his wife like kind of owns 90% of the shares of this company and that, and everything's good, but his wife kind of like, you know, they were madly in love, and then like now time's passed, and they're, you know, they drifted apart, and the wife kind of like is fooling around with this woman, and, you know, everything, and he kind of knows about it, but he kind of like doesn't really, you know, say anything about it. He's very, like, that face is most of the movie of him. Like, you don't know how, he looks like he's going to kill everybody, like, at any moment. Like, you never know what this guy's going to do. But, you know, so the wife's going to go away, and what happens is she ends up, somebody put a bomb in her car, and it ends up blowing up. And, you know, it's like 3 weeks later or something like that, and he comes back from, like, you know, this time away because he's mourning her death, and what happens is this woman's in his house, and she's like taking a shower and all this stuff, and then here he follows her, and because she took his keys, and finds out that there's this film that she wants him to watch that she's in, and here the woman that's in it is supposedly his wife. So now he thinks his wife is still alive, so he doesn't really know, is she, isn't she, is the film real? So he's trying to find out, is she really alive, you know, or isn't she, you know, what's going on? So it's really that, it's the whole movie, him trying to you know, find out, is she alive, and if she is, you know, why isn't she coming home, and why isn't she letting anybody know, and why is she in this movie? So that's what this is about. Again, this is another movie. I thought it started off pretty strong, but I kind of got bored with it after a while. After a while, I kind of didn't care about why she wasn't. Like, I did like him, though. Klaus Kinski. I haven't seen him in anything else. I know he's been in things, you know, it says it on the back here. I don't really think I've seen him in much, you know. But, you know, now that I say that, I'll probably see him in everything. But I really liked his character. He was very unnerving, and I didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't know what to expect from him. He was definitely a suspect. There was a bunch of people that were suspects, but he was definitely one of them. The cops were, you know, after him, like checking him out and everything. And he seemed, for his wife dying, he seemed very cool and calm and everything. And again, it didn't. But the ending kind of like was a pretty good ending. I gotta say, it redeemed itself. So it definitely had a cool twist to it, you know. Not really something you don't see coming, but you know, it's, you know, probably because you know, it's been done before in other movies, but like, you know, it wasn't bad. But I didn't mind this movie. I did like it. You know, it's pretty cool. Kind of like, you know, this giallo. It's like they're like Italian, but they're living in England in that. So, and then they want to move, and that. It's just like you feel bad for him, but then you're thinking like, well, did he do it? Because you just see a hand set the bomb under her car, but you don't know who did it. So that's obviously like the whole movie, like who did it, who set the bomb. And after you see the wreck, it's like, oh, how the hell did she walk away from this? And you know, it's just like, you know, everything is explained at the end. So that's cool that they do that. But yeah, Double Face, pretty cool. I probably would watch this again. But again, with these kind of movies, like I already know the mystery. You know, I already know who did it. The good thing about going back to me is seeing little things that maybe you didn't see before. But knowing who the killer is or isn't or whatever, you know, it's kind of like, it kind of ruins it. So these are almost like a one-time watch for me. You know, I know a lot of people could watch these. There are some that maybe I could watch more than once that are pretty cool, like, you know, like Bird with the Crystal Plumage or something, whatever it's called. That was pretty cool, but even then I haven't watched that again. There's a lot of good giallos that I have watched that I probably would watch again. This one, I'm not really sure if I would. But again, that doesn't mean it was bad. It's just that the mystery's gone for me, so, you know, I don't think I would watch it again. But anyway, I'll show you now what the inside of this looks like. And here you have the front cover here with newly commissioned artwork from Graham Humphreys. I know I've mentioned his name before of making other artwork, and there's so many of them, I can't remember what other ones they did. But this is Graham Humphreys, and then, you know, you have that font there. I'll be honest, I think the font's a little boring. I don't know. But then you got this older artwork here, which I like the style, and I like the font. But the picture is kind of like, well, what is that? You know, I don't know. So I guess I like the picture better on the front, but I like the font and the style of this on the back. But then, yeah, like the spine, I like that. I think that stands out more than the other one. And there are all the special edition contents on there. If you want to pause it now and check them out, you can. And then on the inside here, you have a booklet and the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is Region A. Like I said, the booklet here, and you just scroll through, you know, scroll through. This isn't a computer, but you know, you got the cast and crew, you know, different things, you know, stories and that about the restoration. And I try not to show anything that might be revealing about production credits and that. And there's the back. And I will say, I do like that they use this image on the back. I think they should do that more often instead of like an image from the movie that completely might ruin the movie for you. So yeah, if you like Mario Bava or something like that, you know, if you like giallos in general, I think you might like this. It's kind of psychedelic as well, like the things they go through, like the hippies and that. It's psychedelic, but you know, it's a little strange with that. It's like the camera might actually make you a little sick. You know, it's like out of focus and like kind of like as if somebody's swinging it in a way, but like there's just so much going on, like it's following him through the crowd. I don't know. To me, it didn't make me sick, but I could see people might get sick from that. But I don't know. I never really thought of that before, but I think maybe, you know, be on the lookout for that. You know, it might make you dizzy. I don't know. Some shots, not all. But there was, in the beginning, I will say, there was some obvious like green screen that was really bad, and I don't even know if it's just because it was cleaned up. I think even back on VHS or, you know, in the theater, I think that would have been so obvious and bad. Like it was very bad. And there's like a train and hitting a car, and it was an obvious model of a train in the car, and it kind of is like, wow, really? That you? I don't know. There's no stock footage for that or something. I don't know, but like that was like right in the beginning, and it kind of like made me like, what am I getting into? But like, you know, those are like the worst quality moments of the movie. I think everything else is fine. except for, like I said, maybe you get a little dizzy with some of the camera work. But other than that, you know, the movie was decent. I liked it. But again, I did lose interest a little bit in the middle there. I don't know. But I don't know why that was, to be honest. I just, maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind. But again, I think the whole reveal redeemed itself. But yeah, that's a double face. Next up I have here from Scream Team Releasing and Lock and Key Films is a movie directed by Dave Palamaro, and that is Murder Made Easy. And what this is about this man and this woman who are having these dinner guests over, and basically they're murdering them one by one, and each one of them has a reason why they're murdering them, and it's all because it's all linked to this woman who one of them who's murdering them. Her husband, they all were like involved in this like theater thing in the back of the day, and they all kind of like took advantage of her husband. So she's like taking a revenge out on them for basically her husband, and you know, and like I said, every one of them has done them wrong in a certain way. So they're inviting them over for dinner and basically murdering them in, you know, different kind of ways. Like each one of them has a vice, and they kind of like do their own way. Like you know, one guy's an alcoholic, so maybe they do something to his drink. Another one, you know, I don't want to give anything away, but like it goes from there. And it kind of, it's like a it kind of seems like it's gonna be you know, kind of boring, normal. Like the acting was very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the characters and everything. And I went into it open-minded. I didn't watch a trailer or anything, and ended up really liking this because the ending was worth the watch. Like it was a twist that I didn't see coming, and it was just like, wow, you know, I really didn't see it coming, and the ending again just like kind of blew me away. I was really impressed by the ending, and you know, them watching the behind the scenes, it must have been difficult to really shoot this, like between the camera people, you know, bumping into things, or like things going out of focus, people saying the wrong lines, reacting the way they didn't want to. Like it must have been a little bit of a pain in the ass to shoot this movie, but they got through it. They had a good time, and you know, they did their job, and it worked. And like I said, and the funny thing is, not that you sympathize or like, wow, they definitely should be, you know, killed, but you kind of get it. You kind of get why. You know, they're not really good people. You kind of sympathize with them, and you know, it's just, you go from there. It's like the one of them is this vegan lady, and she's kind of all like over the top ridiculous about everything. They they were gonna have dinner on a wooden table, you know, and she's like, I can't eat dinner on that wooden table because, you know, basically like trees died for that table. And he's like, what are we going to do, have a picnic? And she's like, that's exactly what we'll do, we'll have a picnic inside. So he's like, well, I'm not taking the bed sheets off. She's like, no, but tablecloth will do. So he takes the tablecloth and she puts it down on the ground, and he says, she's like, oh, you know, this is good. And he goes, well, you know, the floor is wood too. And she goes, well, yeah, but the blanket's on top of it. He goes, well, it could be on top of the table too. And she's like, well. It's like, oh, you know, because, you know, there's a lot of people that would be like that, and that's to me was, I'm just like, wow, I get it, you know. That's not why she, you know, they had you know, wanted to take her out, but man, that was another reason, I guess. But yeah, I was definitely surprised at how much I liked this movie. Started off like I didn't want to stop watching it, you know. I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I didn't watch a trailer or anything, and I almost thought maybe it was going to be somewhat boring. I mean, it's not gory or anything. It's not a murder mystery, which is what I kind of thought it might be, you know. But it's not. And very good story, very well written and you know, shot and everything. I really did enjoy it, and I thought everybody did a great job in this movie. Uh, I guess I would say I recommend this. I definitely would recommend checking this out. You know, Scream Team Releasing did a great job releasing this, and you know, everybody did a great job in this. A couple of them had been in something else together, and I'm blanking on what it was right now, but they must have been comfortable working together again. But yeah, I definitely would say check this one out. But now I'll show you what's inside. And here you have the front cover with the dinner plate and a gun on it and a knife bloodied and everything. And that's kind of like what the menu is when you put the Blu-ray in. And it's kind of like interactive a little bit, not much. Like the knife, I think, like did something or whatever, glistened or something like that, dripped blood. I don't remember what it was, but you know, they got that cover, which is cool, you know. And then you got this one, which I like too. It does remind me a lot of, I believe the movie was Lost After Dark or something like that, some kind of After Dark movie or something like that. Maybe it was an older one on VHS, but that's what it reminds me of. But I like that one as well. I don't know which one I like more. I think this one makes it look like a true horror movie, and it's really not a horror movie. It's more. This one I think makes more sense with the movie. After you see it, you know, it'll make more sense to you. But you know, you got that there, and you have the font there on the side and everything. And this is the special collector's edition. The same font that's on here is on both of the spines, which is kind of strange. I guess it is the same font either way. Now I'm looking at it, it seems like they made this little like thicker than that. That's strange. That's like it's close, but it's not the same. And there, if you want to see the special features, you could pause it now and check them out. I will say though that the special features are only on this side and not on this one, which is strange. I'm surprised it's like that. But yeah, it only shows you what the special features are when you have this cover, this side on, and not this one, which is not a big deal. But you know, just in case you're one of those people that need to see the special features when you turn the, you know, the case around, it's only going to be there. And here you have the Blu-ray, and it is region free. This is also not rated, so you know, if I had to put a rating on it, it's probably just rated R. It's not like anything extreme or anything like that. But yeah, definitely like a rated R, but this isn't rated. And it's only an hour and 16 minutes. So, and it kind of flows pretty smoothly. It goes by pretty quickly, you know. Nothing drags out. But yeah, I definitely say check this one out. I liked it. I think it's worth a watch. And I think I'd probably watch it again. You know, I always like to say with the murder mystery ones, you know who the killer is, but you know who the killer is right away with this. And again, it has a really cool ending. So definitely check out Murder Made Easy. Next up I have here another one from Screen Team Releasing and Movie Mafia Productions, and this is written, directed, and edited by Todd Jenkins, and that is Cherokee Creek. This is another special collector's edition, and this is a Bigfoot movie. You know, I always like to see Bigfoot movies. There's not enough of them out there, I don't think. You know, there's a lot of shark movies, there's a lot of snake movies, not enough Bigfoot movies. And here we have a Bigfoot movie, and what this is about, it's about this bachelor party in the woods basically gone awry. Is that the word, awry? It's gone wrong. You know, the Bigfoot shows up and causes chaos throughout the whole party. I know that's kind of a vague description, but you know, when you first start watching this movie, at least for me, it kind of like has a twist right away in the beginning, and I can't really mention it obviously because I don't want to ruin the twist for you. But that's why the description's kind of vague, because you know, it gives away this kind of cool thing that they do in the beginning. But you know, the guys that made this, well, the guy Todd Jenkins, they like didn't hold anything back in this. Like, there's nothing held back. The movie is incredibly long. just like the director's dick. And and he's not afraid. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to show it off either. But there's a lot of it's horror. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of there's like dancing sexy women in this. There's a lot of comedy in it as well, but it doesn't take away from the movie because it was pretty funny. People are all likable. The ones that you're supposed to like are likable. There are people that you're not supposed to like in it, and and especially this one guy who's like he's like the the asshole of the group, and he not really wanted in the first place. He's something, I don't know. I didn't like him, and you're not supposed to. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was shot very well. It's low budget because the lighting. They mentioned about how the lighting was like like cheap from like I don't know. I want to say Walmart. Maybe it was Lowe's or something like that. But it was like very like low budget and everything. But they made it work, and it doesn't look like a cheap film to me. They shot in the dark and everything. There's some deleted scenes, but like I said, the movie is incredibly long. It's not rated, which is cool, but they're not all about the like fuck censorship, not censorship, censors. They don't like to be censored. Wow. They don't like to be censored, so I guess they got in trouble with Amazon or something. There was like a big thing about it, so they do like this intro about how everything that they wanted them to cut out, they didn't cut out, and they put it in here, and they thank Scream Team Releasing and everybody who wanted the Blu-ray to come out. Here it is, and so that's cool. Like this is basically for all the fans that wanted this to come out on Blu-ray and wanted the scenes in. And I'm not knocking that it is long. It is a long movie. And I'm not saying it's like, oh my god, I've never seen a movie that long before. But I think for a movie like this, it could have been cut down by at least a half hour. There were a lot of like scenes that like ran on too long. Yeah, it's almost an hour, almost 2 hours long, which is kind of a long movie, but they do have a lot of cool special features on here, like behind the scenes, deleted scenes, production stills, trailers, Sasquatch music video, commercials, bloopers, and more. And like I said, it does include the intro Too Offensive for Amazon, so I don't really know about that. Like, I didn't see this on Amazon, but Amazon, from other filmmaker like friends of mine, Amazon can kind of be a bitch, about things, taking your movie off and shit like that. And I have noticed that there are things like I've bought a movie from somebody who put a film out, and then I see it's on Amazon, so I'm like, oh, I'll check it out real quick, and they'll like cut like nudity off of there or something, which is ridiculous, because and it was just like topless boobs. It wasn't like pornography or anything. It was just like toplessness, and they cut that off. So I don't understand why the beginning it says like the intro was too offensive for Amazon on here. I don't understand why that would have been too offensive for Amazon. Like, I think Amazon just needs to like take a fucking chill pill, because the beginning of this movie wasn't very offensive. I mean, it's supposed to be like this 80s raunchy kind of party thing, so that maybe there's some things set out of context that maybe people with delicate fucking ears don't want to hear. But I think you kind of got to get over that. Not everybody's gonna make something for you, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't know, and that's a whole nother thing. I don't want to get into it. I'm sure that me saying that probably, got a few panties up somebody's asshole. But just relax. Just fucking relax, okay, snowflakes. But anyway, yeah, I did really enjoy this movie, to be honest. The gore was awesome, and the director, he did a really good job. Like, he was like one of the main characters, and I didn't realize that until the ending. And it's always cool to see that. I always like seeing a director in the movie and not realizing. I was like, wow, he was like one of my favorite characters. Like, he was like really cool. And you know, I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed everybody in the movie. And like I said, you're not supposed to like this a person, you don't like him. And then he had like this really funny part where he was like getting a blowjob, and the girl said to him, "Why are your nipples so small?" He's like, "What? Really?" And she kept stopping and asking these stupid questions, and that made me fucking laugh like pretty hard. Like, and then of course, when she said that, I look at his nipples. I'm like, "Oh, his nipples are kind of small." And he's like, "I don't fucking know. Why? You know." Like, he was trying to keep us cool because, you know, he's getting a blowjob, but at the same time you could tell he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? But that was pretty funny. Yeah, but yeah, I liked the movie. I thought it was a good time. I definitely think this is a cool Bigfoot movie. But again, long run time. But other than that, can't really say much anything wrong with it, you know. There were one scene in particular where it might have been a little too dark, or maybe it was just too quick of a cut, but people would react to things and I didn't know what it was at first, and I think it was a hand or something, like something was on the ground, and it was just so quick, and I asked my wife, I was like, what was that? And she's like, I was going to ask you that. And I didn't want to rewind it, you know. I still say rewind. I didn't want to reverse it or go back. I guess that's the term nowadays with Blu-ray. I didn't want to go back, so I didn't. But I think it was a hand at the one scene that scared the girls. But you know, that's about it. I really don't see any other problem with this. But you know what? Now, enough talking about that, and I'll show you what's inside. And here's a better look at the cover here. That's a pretty cool cover. I like that artwork. I like that font too. I think might have used that font before. I don't know. That seems a little different. I don't know. It might just be me. But yeah, I like that font. And then you got the back there. And you got a different like image on this side. You could reverse it. Don't like this one as much, to be honest. I get it. But I much rather like that one. I think this one, if I saw this would make me want to check out the movie instead of this one, like it just would. And then you got, you know, the spine. It's pretty much the same on either side. And here you have the Blu-ray here with this pretty cool artwork. It's from the beginning of the movie, and the Blu-ray is region free. Funny thing is too, at the beginning of the movie, you kind of need to listen to the two guys in the beginning of the movie. Well, you definitely do, because they kind of tell you the rules of the Sasquatch, of the Bigfoot, and you know, then throughout the movie you kind of see how people are breaking those rules, and that's kind of why they're, you know, the Sasquatch is around. So I keep saying Sasquatch, but you know, it's the same thing, Bigfoot. But yeah, so pay attention to the rules in the beginning. There might not be it might not be the rules that you think they're going to be. But yeah, so yeah, Cherokee Creek, I liked it. On the long side, but I can excuse that, because I think I would definitely watch this again, you know, and it's cool to see another Bigfoot movie out there, and they definitely had a lot of fun watching this, or I mean making this movie, and I had fun watching it. So yeah, so that's Cherokee Creek. Next up I have here from Mill Creek Entertainment is this multi-pack, DVD multi-pack of It Hits the Fan, or Shit Hits the Fan, but it's 4 apocalyptic disaster movies, and on here you have Tornado Warning, Judgment Day, Chrome Angels, and Ghouls. So, you know, you got 4 on here, these disaster movies, these cheesy disaster movies. Carrie Wooer is in Tornado Warning, so there's my pick. But yeah, this also has the digital code in here, you know, that you can, you know, watch on, like I said in my last review video. Now they have this where you can watch it on like a Roku, you can watch on Amazon, Fire Stick, iTunes, and also Google Play. And so that's cool that they do that, you know. But you know, here is the multi-pack, and like I said, it has those 4 movies on it, and it's just DVDs, but they look like that, plain black, you know, flip it like that. So that's what's on here. And next up I have here from from Mill Creek as well is The Stranger Beside Me. It's Ann Rule Presents, and this is based off of the book that Ann Rule wrote on Ted Bundy. And I've never actually read the book. I might have owned it at one point in time, but you know, like many things, I own them and then I don't look at them, or I like books. I like to try to read, but it doesn't always happen. I've read a lot of books in my life, but just sometimes I don't read them all. But yeah, this is about because she was friends with Ted Bundy, and didn't suspect anything, or and he was doing this without her even knowing it, and then eventually she did suspect him, and then wrote the book on him, and then she became this big seller and all that kind of stuff. But the movie wasn't bad. I mean, it's different because every time I think of Ted Bundy, I think of the movie Bundy, where they came out in the late 90s, where it came out like Gacy, Bundy, Dahmer, and Ed Gein. It came out, those movies, and I always think of that guy that played Ted Bundy. And in here you got Billy Campbell. Billy Campbell. And I mean, he didn't do a bad job. I think everybody did fine. I mean, I don't know 100% of the background Ted Bundy. I do know he's probably the one serial killer I know the most about, besides maybe a little about Gacy, but I don't know locations, I don't know time periods. I mean, I know a little bit of time periods, but it's just him doing some of the crimes. It doesn't really show a lot because it was kind of made for TV, so you don't get to see a lot of the killings, as I'm sure a lot of people would like to see. But it's just like I said, her seeing it not basically through her eyes and through his eyes as well. But it kind of does now all of a sudden there's a lot of stuff coming out about Ted Bundy. There's stuff on Netflix and that. So here you have The Stranger Beside Me, and it looked good. I like the movie. This also does have a digital code as well, and it is a Blu-ray, and it is region A, and the inside is just the Blu-ray. Looks like this. So at least there's something on the disc, it's not plain. So that's cool. And there's no special features or anything. It's just the movie, and I believe there was just you could turn the subtitles on or off. So other than that, it's just the movie on here. But yeah, if you like Ted Bundy, which it's weird to say, but yeah, he's my favorite serial killer. They're very interesting serial killers, and it's amazing what they could get away with back then, and what they you can't get away with now. But yeah, check this out if you like serial killers. Why can't I say that word? If you like Ted Bundy or anything like that, if you're interested, yeah, check it out. It's kind of made for TV, not too bad. So that's The Stranger Beside Me. And next up I have here from Epic Pictures and Dread Central is They're Inside, and this one is number 16. These come out pretty often, and this movie is directed by John Paul Pinelli, and this one is kind of in the realm of funny games and The Strangers. And what this is about, it's a found footage movie, which I was surprised because I haven't seen anybody make a found footage movie for a while. And what it's about is about these two sisters who have this this project that they want to do. They're filming this passion project, and they're going to this house cabin kind of place in the woods that they get permission to shoot their film in. And it's kind of it's basically the found footage is the documentary behind the scenes kind of thing that they're going to add to the Blu-ray, whenever they put out the movie. And what they don't realize is they're being watched, and there's a lot of there's things going on in outside, and like I said, they're being watched, and they don't know what's going to happen to them, and people are starting to fuck with them while they're in the house. So it's basically that, them not knowing what, all of a sudden panic, everything just kind of happens at once. And I'll tell you what, the movie started off pretty strong. I thought it was kind of neat that it's this guy trying to make a video, much like I'm doing here. And he's like celebrating that he had 4 million subscribers, and you could see like in the background all of a sudden like two people like come up to the window with these masks on. He doesn't realize it. I guess he can't see what he's shooting, I guess, on the screen, but like it's very, very creepy. I was like, oh my god, that's so creepy. And then like he's cutting, and then like he's telling them where to edit, different things, like, oh, do that part again, and like, make, like he's like say something and like make like, confetti fall here, or like my head on whatever here, and he's just doing this like celebration thing, and then he gets killed, and she just turns and says, can we watch it? Can we watch it? And it's creepy. So it's like, oh, what's that? And then like I don't really get why they did that, but it was started off pretty good, and the ending is very, very messed up, and it's kind of confusing. I don't really understand why exactly it happened that way. They explain it, but I'm still a little confused on it. And I kind of thought it was okay, I think because the ending kind of like, it dropped off. It kind of like lost my interest a little bit, but I think the whole like most of the movie wasn't bad. It is 83 minutes long, and it's region free, so you could watch it wherever you are. You could get it. There is frontal. This is the first time I've ever seen this. There's full frontal male nudity, but no female nudity at all in this. And there is like a girl kind of not getting out of the shower, but she's out of the shower going to get changed, and they cut to right when she's putting the towel on. And it was like, oh, that's shocking. And then like to see this guy's like, dick and balls in the movie, it was like, whoa, that was surprising. It was, wasn't expecting that. You never can do expect that. Like, you should though, because women show everything, and I don't know why it's so taboo, I guess the word. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's so like, oh my god, for a guy to show everything. So when it does happen, it's kind of like shocking in a way, like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that, like you kind of expect boobs or an ass or like, a female vagina, but you don't really expect to see dick and balls hanging there, but whatever. I'm gonna stop talking about that. But yeah, again, I thought the movie was okay. I honestly don't know how much I'd watched of this, but I don't think it was a waste of time to watch it. I do love found footage. It's definitely not my favorite found footage movie, but it was really nice to see another found footage movie being made, because I haven't seen one in a long time. Like, it just seems like nobody likes to make them anymore, and I love them. I love found footage. It's one of my favorite genres. I guess it's a genre, my subcategory of, genre. I just love them. Like, even if they're kind of the same with other things, it's always something that scares you, or it's creepy, because it's seeing through your eyes. It's kind of like you're looking through their eyes, but it's like kind of like your eyes. I always like that, and this does have the creepy element. It does have some pretty gory things do happen, which were unexpected, and it was pretty cool that that. But again, I guess it, just like I said, the ending kind of like maybe like I wanted more from it, I guess. But other than that, I think everybody did a good job, and the people that were supposed to be creepy were creepy, and it's cool. Like I said, this is region free, 83 minutes long, and it is number 16 here. But there's no reverse cover or anything, and then the Blu-ray on the inside just looks like that. So it's cool that there's an image on there. It's kind of a neat looking image as well. It's kind of like that, but not. But yeah, like I said, to be honest, not really sure if I'd watch it again, but I guess it's worth at least one view if you're into found footage movies. If you're not into found footage, you're probably not going to want to watch it, because I know a lot of people are sick of them and sick and tired of found footage movies. So I don't know, but I like found footage. But anyway, yep, that's They're Inside. And next up I have here from Severn Films is a movie that just got on Blu-ray, and it's a very interesting movie, and that's Robo War. And the reason I got this is because it's described as a first collaborated on this brain-melting mashup of Predator and RoboCop, and they also say Alien in here. And they kind of talk about why, but I don't really think so. I could definitely see Predator and RoboCop, but I don't really get the Alien part. But what this is about these group of guys, this like squad that go into the Philippines, and they go into the jungle, and they're sent in there on a rescue mission. And in the jungle is this like military, like robotic kind of like experiment thing gone awry, and it's basically killing everybody that it comes in contact with, and they're trying to stop it and survive and get out of the jungle. And that's basically what it's about. But the movie is like it's just like Predator. The jungle setting, some of the things they do, there's references of like where in Predator when Arnold throws the knife and he says to the guy, stick around. In this one, the guy throws the knife and the guy sticks to the wall and he says, don't go anywhere. It's like the same kind of setting. It's and like the vision, it's a horrible vision on this robot. Like, and he sounds annoying as hell. It's like I'm not even gonna do it because it's annoying, but it sounds like very robotic, and you can't understand it unless you put captions on, which I did. But like you know, it's very like they didn't have as much of a budget obviously as Predator, but there are some pretty cool effects in it, and it's very cheesy. It's Italian, but I mean it's fun. But it's not really that great a movie. When you go and listen to them talk about it in the special features, again, you're seeing how much fun they had and like the behind the scenes stuff, and it's kind of like gives you a different perspective. In a way, it's cheating because I came out of this watching this and I'm thinking, wow, that was something else. Like, you know, I don't know if I liked it. I didn't hate it. I don't know. And then after listening to them talk about it, I was like, oh, I guess it's not that bad. You know, I've seen worse. But it was just amazing how much they ripped off Predator and RoboCop. I'm not going to say how it's RoboCop related because that's kind of like a reveal. But even like the what's her name? Claudio Rosella Drudy, she even said like she didn't even like watch it for years. She was embarrassed of it, and now she watched it and she actually thought it was fun, and she had a good time watching it and everything. But even back then they were embarrassed of it, and the way they wanted to write this kind of movie, they told them, all right, now go watch Predator, and they watched Predator, and then they wanted to watch RoboCop, and then they watched RoboCop, and they kind of like took ideas from it, and I'm telling you, it's just loaded with Predator, except even down to Billy, and like how Billy gets killed. This guy that is the Billy in the movie is just like that with a knife, except he doesn't cut his chest. It's just like that. It's incredible how much this is like it. It shouldn't be called Robo War. It should be called like, I don't know, like Predcop or like RoboPred or something like that. I don't know. It just like because it's just so close to it. But like the group of characters in this, it's kind of hard to believe they worked together. To be honest, like I mean, they worked together in the movie, but they didn't. They were like the most bumbling kind of squad. You know, they didn't seem like they had it all together at all. And the one guy in here who was also in, I can't remember what his name was. It might have been Reb Brown. I think it was, yeah, Reb Brown. He was also, the one that I know of is the Hunter of the Future, or Hunter from the Future, something like that. He was that. He also played like Captain America from back in the day. He's a pretty big dude, but like, I don't know if he's, I don't want to say he's a good actor because he's really not. But like, he was like the only kind of guy that looked military type. And then there was like shit in the beginning that they said that like would not fly nowadays, of course. But like he was in here, and he was also in Uncommon Valor. And I don't know if I'm trying to look at my tapes. I think I have it or I had it. I might not have it anymore. But he was in that, and I did watch that, and I don't remember. I remember liking the movie. I don't remember. I couldn't tell you what it was about, but I know he was in that. And you know, there's people from other Italian things in here, and it's just like there's no continuality, you know, continuity, whatever the fucking word is. It wouldn't continue right. But there was even one part where these two guys were killed, and they're running through the jungle, and they're clearly they are running with them, with the squad, in this like quick scene, and then it's cut, and you don't see them again at all. And it was left in. I thought, wow, they left that in. Like I thought they were dead, and then it's like, yeah, they're not seen ever again. It's interesting. Yeah, it's not really that great, but it looked good. It's scanned in 4K from the original negative, and there are a decent amount of special features on here, I gotta say. But I guess it's fun. It's cheesy, low budget. Not a good movie, but you know, what do you expect? But would I watch it again? I probably would, to be honest. I mean, I didn't really care for it 100%, but I'd watch it. Does that make any sense to anybody? No, it doesn't make sense to me either. But yeah, I thought it was okay, you know, after I watched how much fun they had in talking about it. It's that bad that maybe it's good. One of those type. But yeah, this is from 1988, and I actually put on Instagram that I was watching this, and I got a like from Rosella Drudy, and I think she like put like some hearts and a smiley face or something like that. So that was pretty cool. You know, it's always cool to see that. Like when, you know, I'm not even tag her in it or anything. You know, it's cool when you see like, you know, a director or like a writer, you know, from the movie, especially from that long ago, you know, liking your things, and that's pretty cool. So, you know, and the one guy in here that I didn't really like him in the movie, like there's just, he had this like look on his face all the time, and like, I don't know, I actually liked his behind the scenes the most. Like, he was the funniest, and the stories he told were the best. But on here, and I can't remember his name, but on here I didn't really care for him. He was also in Zombie 4, I believe, and something else. It might have been Jim Gaines, I'm not sure, but he was a funny guy to listen to as well. And this is region A, B, and C, and the audio is English and also Italian, so you know, you can have whatever you want. But yeah, it looked good and it sounded good, and I thought the captions matched up really well. But now I'll show you the inside. And there's a closer look at the cover. Pretty cool. I believe that's like pretty close to what the VHS cover looked like. You know, it's eye-catching. That would probably make me want to watch it. And then you got the spine there, and then you got here on the back. And there are the special features. If you want to pause it now and check them out, you can. And like I said, here is the Blu-ray over here, region A, B, and C. And you also get a soundtrack. And here, look at that font for the RoboWar. That is the same font for Predator. Unbelievable. And then you also get this like title card kind of thing for the soundtrack. And if you notice, every track, except for a few, like 1 is RoboWar main title, 2 RoboWar main title reprise, then 3 through 24 is RoboWar and then the number, and then 25 is RoboWar title reprise 2, and then 26 is RoboWar 24, and then all the way to 29 is 27, and 30 is I Trust End Titles. What I don't understand the point of that. Like it's like the same title pretty much over and over again. But this is kind of cool. The back, it's like this Japanese, you know, looking kind of thing. That's pretty cool looking. I like that. I mean, it's pretty cool that there is a soundtrack to this, but to be honest, I probably will never listen to it. I'm not the kind of person that listens to the score to things, you know, like I'm not gonna I probably won't put it in for this. The only time I listen to music, like movie soundtracks, is if it's actual songs in a movie, like for instance Dazed and Confused, the movie, like that whole movie is just like good music. So like I have listened to those soundtracks a few times, like a bunch of times, and you know, I like those. But like score like this, not really. You know, it would really depend on the movie, and I, off the top of my head, I can't even think of any. Not even Dawn of the Dead, which is my favorite movie of all time. I probably wouldn't even want to put that one in. But you know, to each their own. If you like it, you like it. But I don't get pumped up to that shit. I don't. It's whatever. I think if anything, it'd be cool to collect the record for the art, but I would never listen to it. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah. So yeah, that's from Severin Films, and that is Robo War. Also from Severin Films, I have this one here. It's called Night Killer, also known as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And this is written and directed by Claudio Fragezio. If I don't know how to say these names. But this was somewhere between Zombie 4 and Troll 2 when he wrote this. So it's the same guy that wrote Troll 2 and, you know, Zombie 4. So I know Troll 2 has this big cult following. So it's not like that movie. It's actually totally different. But, you know, he talks about that in here anyway. Essentially what this is about this, like, killer going around wearing a mask and has this, like, big kind of, like, glove with these spikes on and kind of going around and, like, murdering certain people, and stops at this one lady, and she actually survives, and she's in the hospital, but she like has amnesia. She can't remember anything. She can't remember what happened. She doesn't even remember her own daughter and everything. So she's kind of like all kind of fucked up, and then she ends up like getting kidnapped by this guy. So then you know, people are trying to look for her because she's kidnapped, while at the same time she's trying to, you know, come to terms with what's going on, and, you know, trying to remember everything that's happening. You know, things are just going bad for this woman, while at the same time, you know, there is a killer still, you know, out there. You know, is this guy that kidnapped her the killer? It's just like, it's, you know, kind of all over the place. And, you know, it's definitely a very interesting movie, because the guy that made this, you know, Claudio Fragezio, I guess you kind of have to say it like Claudio Fragezio. He, like, you know, you've seen Zombie 4 or you've seen Troll 2. Those are like ridiculous movies. And this one, he wanted to kind of make it a little more serious. So this is like giallo slasher kind of movie. It's kind of like more along the lines of a giallo, because it's definitely like who did it, you know, who is the killer in this movie, and you really don't realize it until the end of the movie. Of course, like you guess and guess, and you know, you might be wrong, you might be right, but you know, it's definitely not that bad a movie. It's pretty fucking strange, and the kills are pretty much the same kill every time, but like different, like I don't want to say, kind of like puts his hand through them, which there's like hardly any blood, which is weird, but like it's cheesy, but it's kind of fun. But yeah, he didn't want to, he wanted to kind of go away the horror element, and this is kind of like a horror, and it's not very like the bloody or anything, but so he went away from that, and you know, from like Troll 2, and that was just like just off the wall and disgusting, and you know, that kind of shit. It's pretty interesting, the movie, I'll be honest. And this is also co-written by Rosella Drudy, so you know, this is another one from her, well, written by her, co-written I should say. But yeah, it's a pretty cool movie. Like I said, it's like a slasher, but it turns into like a giallo. It's pretty cool. It's different, totally different than like, you know, Robo War, or like you know, this was says but when the producers received Fergazio's cut, they hired his former partner Bruno Mattei, who did The Other Hell and RoboWar. So it's like, you know, totally different than like The Other Hell. That was a very strange movie. Or RoboWar. It's totally different than those. But like, you know, it's kind of fun. It's cheesy. Again, I don't want to say it's cheesy bad or anything. There are some things, again, they say, it's just, I don't know if it's Italian or the times or what, but like they just don't care what they say. I guess, I mean, if you're a killer, you're not gonna like be nice or anything. Like, he was very vulgar to her on the phone, and he had like this like annoying voice though. Like the way he talked in general was very annoying. But you know, the ending was pretty cool, and there was a really cool kind of twist to it at the end. And it kind of left it open up to a sequel, which never happened, I guess. I never, and if there is one, let me know, because I have no idea. I kind of bought this blind buy, and this and I believe RoboWar, maybe not Robo. I believe both of them have a slipcover, but I didn't get a slipcover. I know this one definitely has one, but I didn't get it in time. I'm okay with it. I'm okay without a slipcover, believe it or not. But yeah, this was scanned in 4K from the original negative. This also came out in 1989, and it's 93 minutes long, and it's region A, B, and C. And it does look very nice. And you know, they always do the best they can, because sometimes there's missing footage, and you know, things like that. But I thought they did a good job with this. I think it looked fine, sounded fine. It's very interesting of a movie, you know, but I'm glad I got to see it. Pretty cool. I try to stay away from reviews and that until I see it, and then I listen to what other people have to say about it and see if they have the same opinion. So I'm looking forward to looking at other reviews about this. But yeah, there's not many special features on here. That's the only downfall to this. Like, RoboWar had a bunch of interviews with people nowadays, which is really cool, and this, it has like 3 different things. So it's kind of disappointing, but you know, whatever. So yeah, I would definitely say check this one out. It's fun. It's bad, but it's fun. But it's a cool, pretty whodunit, you know, kind of movie. But yeah, let me show you now. Let's show you the inside. And here's a better look at the cover here. I really like that cover. Very, very cool. That is really neat. I love that. You know, that's very scary. And it's not a spoiler or anything. That is a mask. It's not his real face. That'd be fucking scary. And it also kind of looks a little bit like Freddy, more like from a New Nightmare, especially with the glove that he wears, the claw. But it's not. It's not Freddy at all. But I mean, and they don't say they were influenced, but who knows? But I don't know. It's pretty cool. But you'll see in the movie why it's like that. But then you got the spine there, and then you got the back. And there are the special features. Like I said, there's not many, but you know, at least you have something. So there they are. If you want to pause it now and check them out, you can. And there's the Blu-ray. Like I said, it is region A, B, and C. And there's that image on there, like from the cover, which is really cool. The only thing with these, I wish they did have reversible, you know, art on the sleeve, or yeah, on the you know, on the sleeve. I wish they did. So they don't, but maybe they will in the future. So yeah, definitely check this one out. I thought it was pretty decent, you know, in a good bad way. But I would definitely watch this one again, and it's interesting. So I think people would like it. You know, sit back and have some kind of mind-altering concoction or whatever. If it's legal in your state, you know, it's up to you. I'm not condoning it, but you know, I think it would probably enhance your experience. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Night Killer. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on any one of the social media links in the description box below. If you're interested in purchasing any of these movies, there will be links below in the description box for that. And there will also be trailers. If I could find links for them, they will be down below. But proceed with caution. There may be spoilers. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.